we got to talk about. We got to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs in what is a fantastic matchup. But I just want, as brought up on Fantasy Football Intervention there, I just want the world to know Corey Davis has more receiving touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes has this year. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, for me, I'll start this one because I'm the Raiders homer here. I want to tie this into the COVID. I want to tie this into there's two very distinct things. Hurst just came on the COVID thing, the defensive lineman that was caught embracing Josh Allen after the game last week there. So he's on the COVID report. And we saw Patrick Mahomes and Stephon Gilmore exchange pleasantries after the game. And we know Gilmore is now on the COVID report. So I don't know how moistly they spoke to each other, but this is definitely something to watch moving forward. So for me, that's what I want to watch. And I can't wait.
Moistly.
Moistly. It's a fantastic word, isn't it? At least when I speak moistly, my stash catches like 90% of it. So I'm like COVID free. You don't have to worry about that. I want to see where the Raiders really are. I want to see Henry Ruggs get healthy. I want to see Bryan Edwards healthy. Then I want to see them try and go blow for blow with the Chiefs and see where they're at in reality. If you remember last year, and I know I get gooned here being a homer, but outside of the second quarter against the Chiefs, the Raiders actually outscored the Chiefs in that one game. It was the second quarter in which the Chiefs absolutely blew them out. They scored like 4 touchdowns in the second quarter. So we're not going to go touch base on that too much. But for 3 quarters of the game, they were pretty evenly matched. And this was Raiders with a really bad defense with no weapons. And now I think they've got Bryan Edwards, if he can get healthy, which I think he's doubtful again. Ruggs is very questionable at best. So, again, it's going to be the Waller and Jacobs show. So, hopefully Ruggs can get back in the lineup. I see Jeff's kind of taking a look at some numbers there. Looking back, he's already shook his head that Edwards looks like he's probably out. Henry Ruggs?
Yeah, Edwards is actually still in a boot, apparently. I saw a report this morning. He's likely out. And then I wouldn't be surprised if he misses another 2 weeks or so. Ruggs, practice limited. This week is going to be key for him. The next couple practices to see if he's able to get out there. But he's trending up.
As a Canadian, I
love this guy. As a Canadian, he has all the information at hand.
He's perfect. Yeah. This is why we love having him here. I always get a kick out when I hear someone else who's non-Canadian say a boot, but he was actually talking about a boot. When I say a boot, it's about and boot, and you know what I mean? It gets confusing there. So when he said, he actually meant a boot.
On the foot.
Okay?
Yeah, a boot.
On his foot.
Canadian accent throws everybody off.
Oh, like, an actual boot. Oh,
yeah. All right. So listen, I know you're a homer, and so I'm going to apologize for this ahead of time, but if you're not starting your running back one against the Raiders, you have no idea how to play fantasy football. They are fucking giving up points like you read about. They made Devin Singletary look like an actual running back. They made Sony Michel and Rex Burkhead look like the second coming of fucking studs. They made Christian McCaffrey look like the all-pro that he is. And this is CEH week. They're going to run all over the Raiders. Everyone's going to be looking at those pass catchers, but CEH is the play this week without question. 20-plus points very easily. That's the matchup that I'm looking to exploit. Overall, I think that there's points to be had. It's going to be a nice fantasy boon. But for me, CEH is the smash play of anybody in this game.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that.
Is there anyone who has CEH who's not starting him?
Not that maybe they're not starting them, but I'm looking for legitimately like going back to week 1 where he was a running back 3. I'm looking for, when I say smash play, I'm not looking for not start him. I'm looking for DFS if you're going to spend some cash. He's a guy I'm slamming into every single lineup as potentially the running back 1 for this week.
Yeah, just a quick breakdown here. Every week so far this year, the Raiders have faced McCaffrey over 10 points, Kamara over 10 points, Sony Michel actually went over 10 points, and Devin Singletary went over 10 points. So
did Burkhead in that Sony Michel matchup as well. Burkhead went crazy. So they gave up 2 double-digit points that week.
I really like Patrick Mahomes in this matchup.
Well, way to step out on that one there, Chase. Way to step out.
Just saying. I really
you still got that ice cream close by to cool off that hot take.
Hot take.
Calvin, give me something steamy.
So look, it might be crazy, but like it doesn't feel like it should be crazy that McCole Hardman should be out snapping Demarcus Robinson. That's only happened a couple times. It needs to happen more. And really, he needs to be out snapping Sammy Watkins too. I don't understand exactly what is happening with that wide receiver. Like team never Sammy. I was not really on that last year, but Dingus converted me. He's getting too many targets. I don't understand why we're throwing to him 7 or 8 times a game. Those need to go to McCole Hardman. He makes plays happen every single time that he touches the ball, and he needs to get on the field more. He's only getting like 35, 40% of snaps. It needs to be more. And look, speaking of people needing slump busters, Josh Jacobs has had 3 bad weeks in a row, and Josh Jacobs needs to have a good one in this one. I do think they try to keep the ball on the ground. The Chiefs have been really good against the pass this year, and I think they try to control the game and run the ball.
I think I like your hot take more than mine. I mean, I still like my take overall better, but I think your take is a little bit hotter, and I like that.
Anytime you can throw the word slump buster in there, you know it's going to be a good take. But outside of week 1, where Jacobs had 3 touchdowns, he's done very little. He's still in the top 5 in rushing yards, I think, in the league. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but outside of those 3 touchdowns in week 1, he's been, honestly, you could probably argue, because I took him in the first round in a draft, you could argue he could be one of the bigger busts so far from the first round if you did take him that area. Or you took Miles Sanders, which is even worse.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that at all.
What do you got for us, Jeff, for this matchup?
Yeah, I talked about the Raiders a little bit. The Chiefs, more on Josh Jacobs. They should have Chris Jones back, and then actually, I think he was the main defensive lineman that they were missing last game. I guess he could have played, but there was talk that they rested him so he could be 100% since they were playing Hoyer last week. But aside from that, there's no other. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Jacob, Chris Jones is a huge addition back to that lineup. He's arguably the best defensive tackle in the league. He's right up there with DeForest Buckner and anyone else you want to put in that category. But going back to your take here on even Calvin's here on slump busters. David Johnson balled out. Joshua Kelly balled out. Austin Eckler performed well against the Chiefs. They had 3 good weeks, and even Damian Harris and James White, they had solid performances against the Chiefs too. So this team can be run on. And this is from a team, we talk about New England, yet James White and Damian Harris were both under the 10-point mark, but that's with Brian Hoyer as quarterback too. And yeah, you put a quarterback, a little bit upgrade on Hoyer, and I think Josh Jacobs has that in Derek Carr, and you will see him get a few more touches, a few more yards. So we'll see how that breaks out.